So it's all right. Let's deal with it. So Bhagavad-gita chapter 17, text 25. Title of this chapter is The Divisions of Faith. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace is confined Acharya. Sila Abhachan Vindu Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj ki Jai. Sila Prabhupada ki Jai. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. Please kindly responsibly repeat. Without desiring fruitive results.
Without desiring fruitive results.
One should perform various kinds of sacrifice.
One should perform various kinds of sacrifice.
Penance and charity.
Penance and charity.
With the word tat.
With the word tat.
The purpose of such transcendental activities.
The purpose of such transcendental activities
Is to get free from material entanglement.
is to get free from material entanglement.
Purport. To be elevated to the spiritual position, one should not act for any mental gain, any material gain. To be elevated to the spiritual position, one should not act for any material gain. Acts should be performed for the ultimate gain of being transferred to the spiritual kingdom. Back to home, back to God. Home Gyana Timiransya, Gyana Jana Salakaya, Saksuru Militam, Jena Tasmai, Si Gurave Namha. Sucheta Manovistam, Safitam, Jena Bhutale. Swayam Rupam Kadamayam, Dadatisva Padantika. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda Sahodito, Godadhaya Puspavanto, Chito Chandutamond. Vanchakalpatari Byacha, Kripasunubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanabhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Pistaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta, Swami Itinami. Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pacharine, Anevasesa Sunyavadi, Pasatya Desatari. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Si Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Sigora Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, today I was a little bit hit up. I was on the train, and the train, I saw, it was coming to Second Avenue. So I was just relaxed. I was about 4 stops to Second Avenue. So I was just relaxed. I was okay, I'm going to get them. I'll be the time. All of a sudden, I saw that he's taking on that track, another track E or something like that, line E or something like that.
He's coming downtown now?
And he just switch. And everything was completely upside down. So then I had to get down to get directions.
It stopped.
No.
They went to the wrong track.
They changed their route.
Was it downtown? Yeah.
I was coming from Queens.
Yeah, so it's the F was running on E line.
Then it ran on C line.
I don't know why. I've been following that. I don't know how it happened today. Anyway, so this is the natural material world. Pada pada hi vipada. No matter if even you're walking on the express road, the route you've been taking before, the train you've been taking before, the road you've been going before, the office you've been going before, you could be disappointed one day. Nothing is guaranteed in this world. The only thing that is guaranteed is disease, death, old age. That's all. And of course, death. So, this text is giving us, it's like, giving us a forewarning that basically there are 2 types of activities, or 2 parts. There is the Bhakti monk and there is the part of fruitive activity. The Bhakti, basically, the Bhakta is encouraged to perform activities without expectations, without material expectations of results. in the material world, everyone is performing some activities with the objective criterion of achieving some material goals in return. If I'm performing some charity, for instance, you know, I'm thinking, so I will get these heavy results in the heavenly planets and go to enjoy the heavenly planets. I perform some punya, sacrifice, aswamedha jagya, 100 horse sacrifices, 100 horses sacrificed. You're guaranteed to have higher elevation. And in those days, not many people have the money to go and buy 100 horses. It's only done by kings, people who are wealthy, who have the power, you know. So then it is those people, those privileged ones who can perform those type of sacrifices. That's what made the jagya. And even when they're performing the Aswamedha Jagya, Indra could be envious and descend himself, disguise in the form of anything, and come to steal one of your horses. It happened. Why? Because the devas, they're watchful of the human beings, and because the human beings, they have an exclusive privilege. And what is that exclusive privilege? This middle planetary system where we are operating is full of dualities. And so with these dualities, we don't take chances. Once we have attained some merit, some pious merit, to be exposed to devotional culture, we want to do everything possible to see that we get out from this mess. The material world is like a no-go area. Because you could be the president of the United States today, tomorrow you're being probed to be impeached or thrown out of office. Oh yeah. And what that comes with so much of disgrace. So material activities are like no good deal. You may enjoy it today, but then, you know, before you realize, some terrible reactions are coming. And so sometimes people say, well, I don't believe in karma. Okay, it's good for you. But look at what has been happening within the Trump era. If you don't believe in karma, someone has performed some activity over the years, before Trump became a president. Now he's an ally of Trump. And maybe he got into some issue or something, even just to come and be a witness. They start screening you from leg to your head, just to be a witness. So once you come to public saying, everybody, they want to see you clean. And how many of us can be that clean? So the material world, okay, so we perform the activities, but then when we're performing the activities, we don't seem to understand that we're being watched even in the night. If even you perform the activities in the dead of the sea, we're being watched by Varuna. Varuna is the king of the waters. So you may say, well, nobody saw me. I was at the bed of the sea and I killed this person. Who is there? I was flying the airplane by myself and with him, and then, I killed him. Who is there to see it? Material activities, they bring some type of reactions. We may not get it on the spot. But then the bottom line is that when we have this higher understanding, we are cautious about limiting ourselves to situations that will not bring us bad reactions. So dependencies, austerities are meant for cleansing, for purifying the body that has been entangled in so many material activities. And even the most intelligent person could be miserable on this planet. I mean, you tell me, who is it that is not going through the process of disease? Everybody has got some problem. Either a physical ailment, psychological ailment, psychiatric ailment, or whatever. I mean, I was speaking with one professor. He had three doctorates: Doctor of Literature, Doctor of Science, Doctor of Philosophy. So I was speaking with him on the phone, and you know, I just sympathized with him because he was miserable. Yeah. Right on the spot. He was supposed to come to figure out things with me. And then he was sick, but he has to do his job. He was ordered by his director to contact me to figure out some things. So, but then I was just pitying him because he has to do all of this. He was terribly ill. He was having a terrible flu. So when he was even talking, I mean, I just felt it was a good realization, you know, because sometimes we think that the people who are so well, high-profile people, they don't have any problems. But in us, much as one is in the material body, in the material world, it is difficult to, you know, circumvent activities. If even we are sleeping, the mind is actively working. It's just that the physical body is at rest, but the subtle body is busy working. If you're sleeping, you may have a dream. That is an activity. That is a subtle activity. You may have a dream that you're sleeping in your bedroom right here in New York, and then you have a dream that you are in London. So the subtle body is working. The physical body is resting, but the subtle body is at work. So there is no question of rest in peace. People, you know, they do that to think when you die, you rest in peace. That means I've ended one phase of activity, and this very existence or these very life activities the reactions are going to propel me to take up another form of existence which I don't know. And because people don't know their destination, they don't know. I mean, it's like someone comes by, honks a car, and they say, hey, look at you, come in. He said, what? For what? I don't know you. He said, no, you must come into this car. Why would you hesitate? I don't know this person. I don't know the destination. No appointment. So death is like that. People are afraid of death because it's like, I don't know who is this driver. There's no appointment. I don't have an appointment with this person. So we are afraid because we do not know our next phase of existence. That's one of the basic fundamental principles in the philosophy of fear. You see, even the animal, when they're crossing the road, say a deer is crossing the road, they don't walk gently across, majestically. No, they don't stroll across the road. That is an activity, but it's an activity that is based on the three modes of material nature. So we are inclined to fear because there are a bunch of reactions waiting for us, knocking on by the corner. We may not know, but the subtle body is aware of that. Because this bunch of reactions are already impressed on the subtle plane. And so when Krishna is recommending here that one should perform some penance or some sacrifice, these sacrifices purify even the great souls. And sacrifice does not necessarily mean, having to kill an animal and burn it. Sacrifice is like an opportunity cost, how you're having to forgo something for something else. But then it's based on the values you give to them. Give to those items that you are forgoing and then you're opting for something else. So that is a sacrifice. Kids have to go to school. That's a sacrifice. A sacrifice in play. To school. Grown-ups have to go to school. They are sacrificing their convenience to be able to go to become like, when you're going to school, like you're a security guard, you don't sleep in the night, isn't it? So. You have to read. Oh, yeah. So sometimes people think those who are schooling, they are enjoying. But, they're suffering like anything because they don't have peace. They are reading, researching. So this is an activity. But these activities have nothing to do with the purification of this body. It's just to be able to create an avenue where you have a better chance to utilize your life in some transcendental activity that will help you to recreate your future. And so with Krishna's instruction here that when we are performing these activities, we should understand who is the enjoyer of this activity. Krishna mentions the Gita, Bhuktaram Jagyatapasam. They said he is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. So when we are performing devotional service and we have this at the back of our mind, that Krishna, we are doing this for Krishna and we are not expecting immediate results, Krishna gives us, a response. He reciprocates in ways that we can never imagine. It's like someone doing something to you and you don't know how to express yourself, and then you say, thanks a zillion times. Because just thank you feel is not enough. So Krishna comes back to reciprocate. I said that to somebody, one of my friends in India, maybe he never had someone said, thanks a zillion times. And he sent me really big emoji laughter. He never had that statement from somebody, maybe. So it's a sense of appreciation. We don't know how to appreciate what this person has done. So when Krishna comes up to reciprocate with us, with our devotional service, we wouldn't know how to express our appreciation in return. So it doesn't mean that because we're not having immediate results, then we should lock our doors and just hunt for or go for only the activities that are based on fruition or, exchange of service and results, benefits, immediate benefits. So the difference between the Bhakti Marg and the Fruitive Marg is that in the realm of material activities, we are always performing activities, but we are expecting something in return. Even the so-called charitable people, when they're doing some charity to you, they are thinking, especially in India, there are all these big rich families like the Belas. They go about building temples. But they understand, I'm doing this, I'm going to get some heavy positive results. So you don't need to preach to them. So people who are intelligent and they are pious, they perform charity, they perform pious activities without anybody telling them. They just go about looking for where and whom to give or which organization to give. And so activities have to be there, charities have to be there, and it's a matter of knowing or figuring out who is the best recipient of charity. What is how do we qualify someone who is the best recipient of charity? It's a person who will not use your resources for sinful activities. The person who will not use your resources for sinful activities. Suppose you go down the road, you see these beggars, you give them some money. You're pious. Because there are people who don't give a damn. Whether you're lame, deaf and blind and whatever. They don't care. But there are some people, they're just eager to give something to someone. But because if we do have some pious disposition and we want to perform some charity, we have to weigh on the scale. To whom is charity merited, who merits to be given charity. In other words, what is going to be the fate of, what is going to be my fate? If I give this person these resources, what is he going to do with it? Suppose you give someone money and he goes to the brothel to go and engage in sex with some prostitute. You may say, well, that was not my agenda. I didn't know about it. Well, you have aided and abetted him tacitly. Tacitly, unspokenly, without you knowing, you have aided and abetted him. I mean, it's like someone carries a gun, wants to kill somebody, and then the cops have to trace, oh, he carried a gun, he took the gun from this person. Well, you may say, well, I didn't give him the gun to go and kill somebody. Okay, but you gave it to him. So you have aided this person. So to some degree, you have aided this person. This is the complexity of material activities. You may even have the good intentions. But if you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the drive, you could, even with your good intention, you could get implicated. And therefore, penance, austerities, they are important in our lives. And even as devotees, or people who are aspiring to be devotees, we do perform penances. A lot is going on there because the ordinary person, the materialist, who is simply looking after fruitive gains, they wouldn't waste their time to come and hang around with you because they're thinking, what am I going to get from this person? Oh yeah. If you talk about philosophy, the question is, I'm not going to eat philosophy. What am I going to gain from this person? So the conditioned soul always rationalizes what the immediate benefits you get from any type of event or activity. And that is why some people, they have a protracted delay in the spiritual evolution if even they are exposed to this transcendental knowledge. They've not been able to transcend that point where they're not seeking for immediate material benefits, immediate material gain. So it takes time. And with proper association, one comes to that platform. I mean, it's like some people, they may even be interested in Krishna consciousness. I remember those early days when we joined. You know, some people, they may live in the temple, in the ashram, in the brahmachari ashram for, for years. They won't shave their head. They're so attached to the head, okay? Some people, they just come today and then they tell the president, I want to shave my head. Yeah, so there are different mindsets. People are having different type of pious merit. And so the activities are also in that type of setting that someone is interested in performing activities that he doesn't really care about the immediate result, the gain he has to get from this. And therefore, those people could easily become involved in Krishna consciousness. Now, for somebody who may have even, who may be even a billionaire, and they imbibe that culture of fruitive intentions. It's a business culture. It is very difficult for such people to give their intelligence, their mind, their words in the service of Krishna. And so when we find someone who is doing some service of Krishna, we should understand that this person is an elevated soul. He might not be a Paramahamsa, or she might not be a Paramahamsa traveling around, preaching here and there. But for someone to come and start rendering service to Krishna, we should understand this person is carrying a high spiritual energy, a high spiritual input, high spiritual impetus. Because, you find that a number of people, they just drunk every weekend on the road. They don't care about, what is their next destination. Or they don't care about, what service am I going to perform for the ultimate good. So in the Prabhupada is mentioned about ultimate good, ultimate gain, service to Krishna. And if we do understand that whatever services we render, Krishna basically reciprocates with us, then we don't need someone to tell us that we need to render some service. Well, I may say, I'm telling Krishna, that is the highest service. But Chandra Krishna also means you're asking Krishna, please, Krishna, engage me in your service. My Lord, please engage me in your service. This is the meaning of the mantra we are chanting. Why are we begging for service? Because it purifies the heart. It helps to it facilitates our transfer to the world beyond, to the spiritual world. How can we say, if you have someone, so maybe you have a child, or you have a spouse, or you have a friend, and then you tell the person, I love you so much. But there's no service exchange. I mean, what does that mean? It's called lip service. Lip service. Sweet words. It's like what Krishna qualifies as the flowery language. You can become also addicted to the flowery language of the Vedas. You can just be interested in aspects of the Vedic literature where, one is just encouraged to do some pious activity, perform some sacrifices, some yagyas, and all these things for material gain. But as we get, and this is basically the whole thing about, some of these prayers like Satyanarayan Puja. In Satyanarayan Puja, the priest will perform the puja, and then there will be kata. And this kata, the different narrations from the Puranas, and so in some cases, the person who is hosting the puja, or the puja is being performed on their behalf, is listening to the narrations. And then one of the episodes of the narrations, he or she hears, Indra, this happened, that happened, so he seized, he rapes, he stole, and then he begins to wonder, what? That's the heaven I want to go? The king is doing all these things? No, I'm not interested in going there. He tells the priest, is there some other place that one can go? Beyond, beyond. So the Vedic tradition is such that everyone fits into something. So sometimes, if we don't understand, we may minimize some people that, look, I'm a Paka, Vaishnava, and they're just interested in, some Satyanarayan Puja, or some demigod worship, or something. Yeah, Krishna condemns demigod worship, but again, Krishna mentions that don't unsettle anyone's mind who is focused on those type of worship. Yeah, it's like you don't simply abuse a child just because he or she cannot understand the principle of gradients. They're not studying additional mathematics. If they get to that stage where they may be exposed to additional mathematics and they will understand dy dx is equals to gradient. Just because the child doesn't know that now, you say, hey, get out from here. You don't know anything. Give peace a chance. Krishna says, don't unsettle anyone. Give everyone a chance. So, even in this type of fruitive activities, we should be careful. We should just be careful not to condemn people who are involved in fruitive activities, because it is a gradual process. And I have a general advice I give to people, especially people who come close to me, that, you see, even people in a family who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, that's the time you should really love them without any condition. Then they will not think that, because I don't follow her, I don't follow him in their religion, and so he or she is marginalizing me, or doesn't want to come close to me, or is not showing me any love and affection. Because then it becomes conditional, They're following you, and so now you love them. If they don't follow you, what you are doing, then you become enemies. So these are, different sets of, mental platform that could hinder us from really cultivating people or bringing people close to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And the essential point here in this very text is that we should give up the desire to acquire some material boon from our services. We should try to serve with a higher understanding that we are serving Lord Krishna, and the results are there anyway. I mean, it's like the child going to school. It's a lot of suffering involved, a lot of challenges involved. But then the child is like encouraged to go to school with all of the inconvenience. And at some point in time, they come to understand that, yeah, this is good for me because I'll get higher skills, I'll get high-paying job, and then, my life will be more comfortable. So this is a type of material sacrifice that the child is also making. So we have to be able to make that sacrifice, giving up what Krishna would say, giving up the lower taste for a higher taste. So fruitive activities is of a lower taste. Yeah, we get some material boon here and there, but then if we don't even use those results, those fruitive results properly, we could get entangled. I mean, it's like someone who has high pious merit from previous life, and then they are born into very aristocratic situation or position now, aristocratic family now, or even born as the president to Portus, president of the United States. Now, that is to show that the person has a very pious merit, is coming from a very high, profile merit. What they do with their present life could jeopardize their future of even attaining a human body. Those are the intricacies of activities and actions, reactions. And so, it's essential for us to understand that Krishna wants us to be free from desires, free from material desires in the process of the performance of our devotional activities. And devotional activities are themselves full of austerities. Waking up in the morning at 4 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, if you go to Vrindavan, you go to Prapas Mangarati at 4 o'clock. Okay, so, but then you have to wake up before 4 o'clock. So that's an austerity. And then you have to go to the Krishna Balaram Mangarati. So, waking up early, you have to sacrifice your sleep. And sleep, from my own lived experience, in the morning hours, that is the best hours to sleep. Isn't it? Oh, yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I don't used to play with sleep. But, when I became a teenager, the whole situation was reversed because we were in some a missionary school in a boarding house. As 12 years old, you leave home and then you're by yourself in a missionary where they would come to wake you up at 4 o'clock to go take a shower, to go and read, and then at 7 o'clock there'll be devotional worship. So when I came to the devotional service, I saw all this. I said, I did this when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, waking up early in the morning to go to read and then be prepared for devotion and go to classes. So the activities we are performing in devotional service is full of austerities. Waking up early, to go to bed early is even a big austerity because people would prefer to stay watch the movies until late in the night. I remember one gentleman, very rich Indian man in Nigeria, was a business industrialist. He's retired now, but then his son has taken over the business. When he throws a party, people fly in from London, from India, from New York. They fly in for the party, and then that morning, as the party is over, they're flying out. It's an austerity. I saw that. This is how people think that they're enjoying their lives. But they're performing a big austerity. Austerity means you are inconveniencing the body. You can inconvenience the body for the purpose of just, increasing your fruitive activities. But then you can inconvenience the body for the sake of elevating the mind, purifying the mind and purifying the body for, self-elevation. So those two things are always there. austerity, penance, they are always there. What people need to do is, Papa would say, dovetail all of this in Krishna consciousness. We can dovetail all of this proclivity for austerities in Krishna service. I remember also when, I remember when I was also young, and then I visited somebody in the city one time, and then I know that when I was a kid, the teenager woke up early to go to read, to read and then prepare for, devotion and classes. But then here I saw this gentleman, I visited him, and then early in the morning, like 3:30 or 4 o'clock or something like that, he was awake and preparing to go to work. So I thought, what's going on? After that, when people are working, they should be relaxed. But then no, there is no question of relaxation in this material world, He's performing austerities to be able to get money, to work. Therefore, even to sleep is a problem. And he comes back late. So, austerities, we cannot run away from it. We can do the needful by dovetailing our propensity for austerities in Krishna's service. So, when the mind becomes purified, then voluntarily we will want to do the services without expecting material results. If we start telling somebody who is new, I say, hey, you're doing this for Krishna, you just have to be careful. It's just to help you. And some devotees, when they are engaging people, they are very tactful, that they motivate them, and the people, they do the services, with all of their hearts. So we should have the tact of engaging people in Krishna service, explaining things to them preliminarily, and then engaging them in Krishna service, so that they don't feel that they are being controlled or they are being forced to do something, because everybody or majority of people on the planet, they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be controlled. So, bottom line is that activities have to be there, whether it is physical, mental, cognitive. We have to perform some activities. But then these activities, we have to do it for a greater gain, for a higher gain. And that is to be able to facilitate our emancipation from the clutches of material existence. Any comments or questions? Yes, please.
So how can we be detached from expecting some kind of result from our spiritual endeavors? Because it's pretty much, subconsciously even, we do some spiritual service, devotional service, and we think, okay, because I'm doing this, then, Krishna's going to take care of me, even in my material situation, which he does, but the expectation is there. So how can we just be selflessly doing the service without, having that even in the back of our minds?
Yeah, that's a nice point. Just like you mentioned that expectation is there. If we understand that we are conditioned, and we're not just being artificial, that, hey, I'm a Paramahamsa, I don't need, I have no expectation. I just do this.
I wish I was like that.
So, even to understand, perform the activities, the services, and then we understand that this is going to purify me, and so we are desperate and eager to do that. That's an expectation, but it's a good expectation. Like Prabhupada would say, and explain what desirelessness means. So sometimes people miscue, and you can't say you are desireless. We all have desires. What are you desiring for ultimately is what matters. What's the substance? of your desire. Are you desiring to build a mansion for yourself? You can also desire to build a mansion for Krishna. That's funny to point. Prabhupada worked so hard. He was full of desires for Krishna. He desired to follow the instructions of his spiritual master. That's why he came to the West. So desire has to be there. Expectations have to be there. He was coming and he was praying to Krishna about the Jaladuta. He was saying, look, you're sending me to this strange place. I don't know anybody there. These people, they are, they have their own culture. How am I going to convince them? You should use me as a tool. There is an expectation. He believes honestly in Krishna. Krishna is the one sending him. And whenever Krishna gives an order, or the spiritual master gives an order, it is encapsulated with empowerment. Now, when people don't understand that, it is a difficult thing to perform devotional service. And so even what Prabhupada has to pass through, it was like it was a miracle. Because you can't come to the West, to New York, to start an international organization with literally, nothing, zero money. But just by attempting to execute the order of his spiritual master, which is encapsulated with empowerment, there was a whole blown up. So there was expectation. Without expectation, we will not move forward. It has to be a spiritual expectation. A spiritual motivation. It's like saying, well, I'm not motivated. You have to create ways to be motivated, either to be self-motivated or by dint of some association, someone's activities or someone's words, they inspire or they motivate you. If you don't get many motivation from the environmental forces, then you have to engage in self-motivation to be able to do some things to re-engineer that fire of devotional impetus. And so expectation is always there. We are expecting that one day Krishna will be kind to us, to change all of our impurities and, allow us to take shelter at his lotus feet. It's an expectation. Without expectation, we will not move forward. Oh, yeah.
That's a good point. Like we're expecting to attain Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, that's an expectation.
Yeah.
We are working so hard because we are praying to Krishna, please engage me in your service. What's the result of that service? To become Krishna conscious, to purify ourselves. So, yeah, expectation must be there. Yes, Prabhu.
It's one of the principles of Sharanagati. Surrender.
Yeah.
That Krishna, you accept Krishna as your protector.
Yeah. You see, this is the whole thing that sometimes we tend to think that, I'm trying to be a devotee. Krishna will do everything. Krishna, look, I'm trying to be a devotee. Just take care of me. But why did Krishna give you a big brain? Like Prabhupada said, make your plans and hang it on Krishna like a garland. You don't sit back and say, well, trying to be a devotee. Krishna knows everything, Krishna knows everything, okay. Krishna was the chariot driver of Arjuna. Why did he not take the position of an archer to shoot the arrows also? He drove Arjuna's chariot. He was like Arjuna's servant, charioteer. Okay? Hey, drive me here. He drive me there. Like Arjuna's driver. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is also due to the intimate relationship. And so, we do have different relationships with the Lord, but then it's all of the relationships are service focused. The loving exchanges are service focused. So we can't say, I don't want to do anything, let Krishna do everything. And if we don't make plans, we will not be motivated. If we don't make plans, we will not be able to attain the supreme destination. Even just to wake up the next day, you have to set your alarm. That's some type of strategic plan. Otherwise, why would you set up your alarm? You could just say, well, let me go to bed. I know that, Krishna knows I'm trying to serve him. So he will arrange anyway when I wake up. We have expectations. I'm expecting to wake up at this time. I set my alarm. And sometimes I set 2 or 3 alarms. But yeah, the day that, I overwork myself, so that this one, I don't hear this, I will hear the other one. So expectation is there, but it's spiritual expectations. Then that motivates us. Just to go and chant Hare Krishna. Why? We're having some expectation. I look at my chanting bag of beads and then I have to chant. Why? I'm expecting. I have some expectation. Purification. That's why I want to chant. But it's a good expectation. Yeah. All right. Any other points? Otherwise, we have to draw the curtain here. Any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
I have a short question. It's about the workplace.
Huh?
It's about the workplace.
Okay.
I work as a salesperson,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I'm in a position where I have to kind of like fight for clients because there's only so many clients around sometimes. But my goal is to make money.
Okay.
Am I breaking the law of right here, what it says right here, which is that in order to be elevated to the spiritual position, one should not act in for any material gain.
Oh, but that is not service of Krishna. You are not doing devotional service there. What the results of your work, you can give some percentage to Krishna. That purifies. That's your job.
So there's no conflict in that.
No.
Okay.
That is, you have professional ethics. Then in any job you are doing, there are professional ethics. There are some things, there's a job description. Okay? So, the judge, he sits on the bench there and sends people to jail. I found you guilty. He sends them to jail. You may say, oh, this is demoniac. No, it's not. That is his profession. And this is the problem Arjuna had. Arjuna was thinking, I'm a devotee. Fuck devotee. No killing, no violence. Oh yeah. It's the same mindset, we're thinking, well, this is bad. Yeah, some people, I remember I was listening to one Prabhupada lecture, and then he was making a comment about one professor in England, and he said he's a professor of Hinduism, but then he criticizes Krishna for inducing Arjuna to fight. He said, this person, you don't know the person for whom you are trying to talk about. He's just doing that to earn money. And then some people also, when they comment on the Gita, they're doing that to earn money. So, but that is not the best thing. Go get a regular job. Go to school, go get a regular job. And then, don't use Krishna for business. Oh yeah. You're doing your job. There are ethics in every profession. Your own main thing is to fight for clients. The results of your money, you are using part of your money in service of Krishna, so that purifies your whole existence. Okay? Sometimes it's a little bit difficult because sometimes we miscue and then we advise people all type of negative things, and sometimes it's like, they're not coming, the person is not going to come and leave his job to come and live in your ashram. And if you're not a job counselor, you're not a professional counselor, you will not really know how to counsel people. So then, just keep your mouth shut. Chant Hare Krishna, and then, go on with that. Oh yeah. Because you will advise people to do the wrong things. Oh, you're just walking? You should just do something else. But what is the job? Is it karmic? No. So my point is, all professions have ethics. Look at the case of Arjuna. Arjuna was trying to run away from his job, claiming, rationalizing, he was using scripture as a facade. So Krishna ultimately told him, you're talking very nicely, but you're stupid, you're a fool. So we have job professional ethics. Whatever we are doing, we have to know what is the ethics here. And for professionals, you can do your profession, you can do your job. There's a prescription what to do. How much money you're going to give in helping in the propagation of Krishna consciousness, if you can, to purify yourself. And if you don't know, you better find out. So that you don't blame yourself and begin to think, oh, where am I working? Where am I doing this? Where am I doing this? Oh, yeah. Any other comments or questions? Does that make some meaning?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. In the absence of any other questions, please, let's adjourn this meeting. And I'm catching up with you guys again next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, I'm always happy to be here. So,
We're always happy to have you here, Maharaj.
thank you very much for coming. Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.